The Candlestick of Iron. Once upon a time, a poor widow was looking out of the window of her house when she saw a humble dervish coming along the road. He seemed weary beyond endurance, and his patchwork robe was covered in grime. It was evident that he needed some help. Running into the street, the woman called out, "Noble dervish, I know that you are one of the elect, but there must be times when even such insignificant persons as myself can be of use to the seekers. Come and rest in my house, for is it not said, 'Whoever helps the friends will himself be helped, and who hinders them will be hindered, although how and when is a mystery?'" "Thank you, good woman," said the dervish, and he entered the cottage, where in a few days he was rested and much restored. Now this woman had a son named Abdullah, who had had few chances of advancement because he had spent most of his life cutting wood to sell at the local market, and was not able to extend his experiences of life in such a manner as to enable him to help either himself or his mother. The dervish said to him, "My child, I am a man of learning, helpless though I may look. Come, be my companion, and I will share great opportunities with you, if your mother agrees." The mother was only too glad to allow her son to travel with the sage, and the two set off along the road together. When they had travelled through many countries and endured much together, the dervish said, "Abdullah, we have reached the end of a road. I shall perform certain rituals which, should they receive favourable acceptance, will cause the earth to open and reveal something the like of which is given to few men. This is a treasure, concealed here many years ago. Are you afraid?" Abdullah agreed to try, and swore to remain constant, no matter what might happen. The dervish now performed certain strange movements and muttered many sounds, in which Abdullah joined him, and the earth opened. The dervish said, "Now Abdullah, listen carefully, paying complete attention. You have to descend into the vault which is exposed before us. Your task is to possess yourself of a candlestick made of iron. You will see before you arrive at it the treasures the like of which have seldom been revealed to man. Ignore them, for it is the iron candlestick alone which is your goal and aim. As soon as you find it, bring it back here." Abdullah went down into the treasure vault, and sure enough there were so many sparkling jewels, so many plates of gold, such amazing treasures which cannot be described because there are no words for them, that he was completely bemused. Forgetting the words of the dervish, he filled his arms with the most glittering prizes he could see. And then he saw the candlestick. Thinking that he might as well take it to the dervish, and that he could conceal in his wide sleeves enough gold for himself, he took it up, and remounted the steps which led to the surface of the earth. But when he came out of the hole, he found that he was near the cottage of his mother, and the dervish was nowhere to be found. As soon as he tried to show his gold and ornaments to his mother, they seemed to melt away and disappeared. Only the candlestick was left. Abdullah examined it. There were 12 branches, and he lit a candle in one of them. Suddenly a figure like a dervish seemed to appear. The apparition gyrated a little, and then put a small coin on the ground and disappeared again. Now Abdullah lit all 12 candles. 12 dervishes materialized, moved in rhythm for an hour, and threw him 12 coins before they vanished. When they had recovered from their amazement, Abdullah and his mother realized that they could live quite well on the yield of the candlestick, for they discovered that they could obtain 12 pieces of silver each day from the dance of the dervishes. But before very long, Abdullah thought of the incalculable riches which he had seen in the subterraneous cavern, and decided to see whether he could have another chance of getting some real wealth for himself. He searched and searched, but could not find the place where the entrance of the cave was. By now, however, he had become obsessed by the desire to become rich. He set off and travelled through the world until he came to a palace, which was the home of the miserable dervish whom his mother had once found tottering near her home. This search had occupied many months, and Abdullah was pleased when he was ushered into the presence of the dervish, whom he found to be dressed like a king and surrounded by a horde of disciples. "Now," said the dervish, "you ungrateful one, I will show you what this candlestick can really do." And he took up a stick and struck the candlestick, whereupon each branch turned into a treasure greater than all the boy had seen in the cavern. The dervish had the gold, the silver, and the jewels taken away to be distributed to worthy people, and lo, the candlestick was seen to be standing there again, ready to be used anew. "Now," said the dervish, "since you cannot be trusted to do things properly, and because you have betrayed your trust, you must leave me. But because you have at least returned the candlestick, you may have a camel and a load of gold for yourself." Abdullah stayed at the palace overnight, and in the morning he was able to hide the candlestick in the saddle of the camel. As soon as he got home, he lighted the candles, and he struck the whole thing with a stick. But he had still not learned how the magic was accomplished, for instead of using his right hand to hold the stick, he used his left. The 12 dervishes immediately appeared, picked up the gold and jewels, saddled the camel, seized the candlestick, and vanished. And Abdullah was worse off than before, for he still had the memory of his ineptitude, his ingratitude, his theft, and his nearness to riches. But he never had another chance again, and he was never again wholly at ease in his mind.